With the sad news of the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, I think it's time to take a bit of a moment to reflect on her life quickly before we go into this video, because I think it's important to do so, as a lot of people in the UK are mourning her death. So let's just take a moment to reflect on her very quickly before we jump into this video, and let's just remind ourselves of Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away a few days ago. Hi here, Fins here. I am back for another video, and today I'm going to be talking about, at last, Strictly Come Dancing 2022. Yes, it is almost here. Strictly 2022 will be here eventually, and we cannot all wait to celebrate the new series. But is this year's lineup the best or the worst lineup ever? What do we all think? Now, we have our lineup, and here's a quick reminder of the 15 celebrities that are taking part in this year's series. Actor Will Mellor. Actress and presenter Kim Marsh. Broadcaster Richie Anderson. Star of Loose Women Kay Adams. Comedian Jade Adams. Five-time Paralympic gold medalist Eddie Simmons. Radio DJ Tyler West. From Bros, singer Matt Goss. Actress and comedian Ellie Taylor. CBBC star Molly Rainford. England football legend Tony Adams. Pop star and presenter Fleur East. From Countryfile and CBeebies, Hamza Yassin. From EastEnders, James Bye. And finally, TV presenter Helen Skelton. Now this year the lineup has been criticised, as it usually does, of being weak and not that famous. I mean, what do I think? I've got mixed feelings about this lineup. Names-wise, it isn't the most famous of casts we've ever had on Strictly. I wouldn't say this is the best lineup ever on Strictly. I wouldn't say it's the worst. It's in the middle for me. I think 2009 was, we had too many actors and actresses in that lineup, so yeah. I mean, there are some good names, don't get me wrong, in this lineup. You have Matt Goss, Eddie Simmons, Fleur East, Helen Skelton, Eddie Taylor's done quite a lot. Who else? Kim Marsh, Will Mellor. There are some good names, but there are also some names that I don't think many of us people know, like Hamza Yassin, Tyler West, Molly Rainford. There's a few names that are quite question marks, like, how did you get into the final lineup? I think a lot of these celebrities feel like last minute replacements, like somebody else more famous than them, were going to do the show but had to withdraw at the last minute, so you got these instead. So yeah, I mean, the BBC made some choices this year for Strictly, I'm not going to lie. But maybe they've signed up for entertainment reasons. Maybe Hamza, we might not all know at first, but when you see him on the dance floor, maybe, we might enjoy to like him, and there might be some reasoning why we've got him there. Maybe he'll be a bit more of the entertainment side, you never know. So yes, I mean, I think the issue this year with the lineup on Strictly is it's very safe. It's very BBC lineup, a lot of these names probably have worked on the BBC, like done some presenting on the BBC or acted on the BBC, it feels very safe BBC lineup, and it's not taking that many risks compared to other years. I mean, they're all kind of BBC names apart from Fleur East and Tyler West, I think, and Matt Goss. But apart from that, the others I feel very BBC, which is not also a bad thing. But you know, I think I like when Strictly takes a risks with their lineup and get people like you would never expect to do Strictly get to do Strictly. Like, you know, they've taken risks when they signed up Anne Widdecombe, Nancy Delario, Ed Balls, you know, even Riz, like, not the usual celebrities. Like, when we had Johnny Peacock as the first Paralympian, you know, that was a risk signing up a Paralympian. When they signed Joe Sugup in 2018 as the first YouTuber, like, that was a risk to take on. And it paid off. So, it's a shame we don't have a risk, per se, like, it's a shame that they don't have a social media star this year. I would have loved to see somebody from YouTube, because that would be nice to react to, and I would feel embarrassing uploading videos on Strictly when there's a YouTube on, but it's a shame. I think, you know, I hope, you know, they haven't stopped completely. Hopefully it's not like this reality TV thing where they apparently ban stars to go on. I think with YouTubers, they just have to find the right one to do Strictly, and maybe they've struggled to get the right one, I would imagine. I mean, Louise Pentland, you know, would do it in a heartbeat. I mean, why not get her, or Niall Wilson, or someone like that, you know, would do it in a heartbeat. So, yeah, it's a missed opportunity, personally. You know, I think more younger people would watch Strictly this year. If there was somebody with that, being on YouTube or social media or whatever, it's a shame. I know we have Molly Rainford, but that's more like children's audience, so... And we don't have a newsreader, we don't have models, we don't have chefs, we don't have politicians, so it does feel like there's not much variety occupation-wise when it comes to celebs. It's 10 out of the 15 celebrities are presenters or have done presenting roles, which is very interesting. They're either actors or actresses, singers, athletes or comedians. That's the only 5 occupations that's going around this year, which is very odd. There's not much variety occupation-wise. I mean, maybe well, you can't imagine, if they signed up, let's say, Nigel Farage for this series, you know, would people actually watch it? You know, people would watch if Nigel Farage, not everybody's going to like it, but like Anne Widdecombe, not everybody liked Anne Widdecombe, but people still watch, so, yeah, so maybe next year, take a bit of risk with the lineup. It's okay to sign up maybe a controversial character, because that would be interesting, that would be good TV. You know what? We haven't seen them dance yet. Maybe, you know, something will happen on Strictly, you never know. Maybe this is the way it's going, and, you know, let's see what's going to happen. So who am I looking forward to on Strictly this year? Well, I think Helen Skelton's going to do really well. I kind of feel good about Helen. And yes, of course she's single, and why wouldn't she be afraid to find love on Strictly? What's the big deal? She's single, ready to mingle. It's just, I mean, honestly, these reports about Strictly cursing, let's just leave it at that. Fleur East, which, you know, I predicted she would do Strictly one year. Same with Ellie Simmons and, who's the other person? And Richie Anderson this year. I kind of thought, oh, you'll be doing Strictly in 2022, mark my words. Yeah, when I saw Richie Anderson on It Takes Two last year, yeah, I kind of knew the bosses were going to get him next year, because it was such an easy one to get. But no, Fleur East, she's going to be good. I think she's got a lot of dance experience. My only concern with Fleur is she could be like the Alexandra Burke story, the Ashley Roberts story again. Like, she'll go to the final, but she won't win because the public won't vote for her, and she'll have to be in some dance-off later in the series, which is a shame. That being said, though, I think Fleur, might become more likeable than those two. I think we have seen her on X Factor, the other show we should mention, but and I'm a Celebrity, you know, and she did do well in both of those shows, so she is quite well liked with the public, and you know what, she still is doing a lot of presenting roles, so you know she is still quite well liked. It'd just be interesting how she gets shown. I mean, her jive, I mark my words, her jive is going to be excellent, won't it? It'd be like, yeah, I would imagine her jive is going to be excellent. Who else? I think, yeah, Molly Rainford, I think, will go far. I think Kim Marsh could be a dark horse. No, I think Kim could do well. I think Ellie Simmons, I'm looking forward to that. Because she seemed so keen and so fun and so lovely when she was first announced on Radio 5 Live. She was just a lovely girl, and doing it for dwarfism as well, and you know, good for her, and I'm looking forward to see how far she goes as well. And Ellie Taylor, like, lots of the girls seem better than the guys. I mean, the girls it looks like we could well have another female winner this year, because the girls look really strong. The boys, on the other hand, like, I don't know why, but they all come across dad dancers to me, like most of them, like Tony Adams, James Bay, yeah, Will Mellor, they all seem like dad dancers, and I don't think that's a good thing. Yeah, it's really odd, because, yeah, I'm surprised they didn't find a younger guy, one more younger guy. Anyway, we shouldn't have age as negativity, but yeah, I kind of think they don't look as strong as the girls this year for some reason. I don't know why. Matt Goss, I think, will be definitely one to watch out for. He's going to be an interesting character. He just needs to commit at Strictly, and he's not going to do a funny VT, that's for sure. Yeah, funny Charleston, oh, that could be a struggle. But the rest, you know, he has done, he did the Christmas special years ago, so did Helen Skelton, so at least I experienced that. I don't, you know, I worry that he might do a Will Young and Us and quit after week 3. He might say, this is not for me, I'm gonna go. I hope that's not gonna happen, personally. Mind you, who knows who's gonna be the celebrity that's just gonna quit after the show after getting injury or a heart attack or whatever, you know, or get your legs chopped off, you know. Who knows? We might have like another 2-way final like we did last year, really. But we'll wait and see on that. Yeah. Who's the other ones that I'm concerned about? We won't see that very long. I think Tony Adams, I don't know how far he's gonna go. Let's say I do worry he could be the first one out, being a footballer. I get David James vibes, which is not good, but unlike David James, he does have a bit more personality than him, that's for sure. Yeah, and he's tall, could get Nadia. Oh, yeah, but we'll see. We can't judge. And yeah, we've got Kay Adams for some reason on this lineup. Yeah, but hey, it's nice to have somebody from Scotland. Why have they decided to pick Kay Adams in this lineup? Like, why? You know, she just doesn't fit in this lineup. Out of all the loose women you could get, you got Kay Adams. I think they wanted somebody Scottish, obviously. Shame we don't have anybody Irish or Welsh in this lineup, or somebody from abroad. That's a missed opportunity. You know, I mean, it's going to be hard to follow up the last loose woman. That was on Strictly Judy Love. I mean, I can't see Kay Adams doing a twerk on the dance floor, personally. I mean, Judy Love, oh, she, you know, that twerk last year gave me life. This, Kay Adams, could also be out quite early on. I don't know if she's going to be the first one out. Just bear in mind she's Scottish, so maybe like 6 million people from Scotland could pick up the phone and vote for her. Like, you know, JJ Chalmers from Scotland, you know, lasted longer than we thought he would, so can't rule her out. But yeah, I don't know if she really fits in this lineup. I mean, why has she said yes to Strictly? But then we can't judge. I mean, if she gets like someone like Giovanni, that will really help her get through it, you know. Maybe she'll go farther than we think. You know, Ranvia, a couple of years ago, Ranvia Singh, you know, we were kind of ruling out to be out quite early on, and she made it to the semi-finals thanks to Giovanni. So if Kay does get Giovanni, you know, it might not all be bad news for Kay Adams. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, who knows? Who knows? You know, who knows? And she's also had some problems with her ear problems the last few weeks, which is unfortunate, but hopefully she copes after that. Yeah. Oh, we've also got Richie Anderson in the lineup as well. He'll be part of the same sex couple again, which I don't think it's going to be Johannes again. I don't think it'd be that obvious. I think we'll give it to somebody else with a bit more chance, you know, another chance to dance with another guy. That'll be interesting. I'll do my partnerships next, but yeah, I like that. I thought we were going to have 2 same-sex couples this year. Maybe we are. Maybe there'll be a surprise. Maybe there's a twist with one of the female celebrities this year. Maybe. But we'll get to that in just a moment. So yes, there's some good names in here. Some unknown names, unknown quantities in this lineup. But hopefully it's going to be fine. You know, regardless of the lineup, we're going to be in for a good show whenever it is on. And yes, we need some fun in life. You know, what's been happening in the last few days. And yes, I hope it's going to be a good series. And now it's time for the partnerships of who I predict will get partnered up with who. Who will get partnered up with who? Now, this is going to be very tricky this year. As you know, there are 20 pros in this lineup, which is the biggest ever for some reason. But there's only 15 celebrities, so 5 pros are going to be sitting on the sub bench this year, which is quite a lot. That sub bench is going to be rather busy. So it's been, I think this year is going to be the trickiest year I've ever had predicting who's going to be partnered with who. And by the way, I haven't seen any leaked information out there, if there's any out there. I haven't seen anything, so this is me going in blind. So, yeah, I really am struggling here. Last year, may I point out, I did get 12 out of 15 right. But I don't know if that's going to happen this year. I think this year, for some of us, it's going to be like when the launch show does happen. Like, we don't know which pro's going to get a celebrity and who's not until the actual show for some of us. So yeah, I feel like Eurovision, like who's qualifying to the final, it just feels like that. So I had to like think about it long and hard. I had to think, well, we have 4 new pros, but I doubt they'll get any celebs this year, so we've kind of avoided them for the most part and concentrate on the pros we currently had last year. And there's 16 of them, and there's only 15 celebs, so at least one of them will be on the sub bench this year. That's really tricky. I do wonder who that pro is going to be, but anyway. Let me do my prediction. So here it goes. First up, Will Mellor, I predict will get Katya. Kim Marsh, I think will get Kai. Richie Anderson, I will think he will get Gorka. Bit of a surprise there. Kay Adams, I think will get Giovanni. Bit of a surprise there. Jade Adams, I think she'll either get the new pro or there'll be a twist. Because I think I've heard somewhere that there'll be 2 same-sex couples this year, rumoured out. Anyway, if she does get partnered up with a female, maybe Karen. Who else? Ellie Simmons will get Cameron. Tyler West will get Luba Matt Goss will get Diane. Ellie Taylor will get Johannes. Molly Rainford will get Graziano Di Primo, maybe? I'm less sure on that one now. I'm thinking about it, but anyway. Tony Adams will get Nadia. Fleur East will get Nikita, maybe? Hamza Yamsin will get Jovita / Nancy. But I'm leaning towards Jovita. It's a tricky one, it really is. If she does get a celeb this year. James Bai will get Amy. And finally, Helen Skelton will get Neil. So that's my prediction. I know I've made a lot of slashes in between there. I really am struggling here. I really am. But that is my final prediction of who will get who. I know, you know, I was kind of torn where who Fleur was, because Fleur's going to be the one that every pro really wants to get this year. At first, Graziano came to mind height-wise, but then Nikita. I think with Nikita, he's Ukrainian, and I think in the world right now with Ukraine, you know, I think the producers probably would want somebody from Ukraine to be in the competition for a long time and to do well, and they know Fleur will potentially go to the final this year. So I think it might be a clever move if they do partner up these two people together. And also I was kind of thinking Nikita would go to Molly, but I just think with Nikita, because she had Natalie last year, I do wonder, you know, I don't want him to get like the same kind of celeb every year. Like they're always gonna give him the CBBC star every year, he's gonna get the social media star every year. I don't kind of want that to happen every year for Nikita, like it did kind of with AJ, if AJ was still in it. So that's why I kind of mixed those two up. Yeah. And I said Gorka, I said Richie and Gorka together as well, mainly because I think they might work. I think Giovanni, I mean, that could also work, but I kind of think with Giovanni, because he won last year, he's going to get a celeb that's probably going to be less likely to win the trophy. Because let's keep it real. Kay Adams, love her to bits, but she ain't going to win the trophy in December, is she? You know, are we going to see her dancing at Christmas time? Probably not. So, you know, I think the producers will probably go towards that kind of direction with Giovanni this year, is what I think. Yeah. So yeah, it's a tricky one, but hopefully I'll happy if I get 6 this year, I've got to say. I don't know if I'll beat last year's record of getting 12, 15. It's so hard when you don't know who the pros, honestly, I think there are too many pros on this lineup. You just needed 2 new pros, you don't need 4, I mean 20 pros and only 15 of them are going to get celebs. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, really, it's like, I see it as, well, pointless. Because, you know, they're only going to be in the background, so it just feels like a shame that we won't probably going to get to see them dance unless maybe one of the male new pros gets a partner. I don't know, but we'll wait and see on that. So finally, one big last question. Who is going to, let's cut to Christmas, who is going to win Strictly, I nearly said Eurovision there, Strictly Come Dancing 2022? Who is going to lift that mirror ball in December? Oh my goodness, well, I feel like there's a most likely chance it's going to be a woman winning again this year. I feel, yes, I said before, the guys just look like dad dancers to me this year. I don't know why. Maybe it's that their age, or they're mostly dads this year. I don't know why they've kind of, the Strictly's picked these kind of male celebs this year. But I think it's probably most likely it's going to be maybe a woman winning. the show again this year. But you never know. You never know. I'm going to say Helen Skelton's going to win. I mean, it's kind of the obvious choice, really. I know Fleur's like high at first in the bookies, but I worry her dance experience, you know, people might vote against her like they did with Alexandra Burke and Ashley Roberts, which is my biggest fear with Fleur. That being said, she is quite likeable, though, Fleur. She is. So I don't know. But, mind you, Helen has come out with some dance experience about tap and that, so maybe that might affect her. But I'm going to say Helen. I will say Helen. It's the obvious choice, but I think she is likeable. You know, she's Blue Peter, Country File. Hey, I even watched a documentary where she presented about crisps on Channel 4 back in April. So, you know, she's still doing all those kind of things. So, yeah, I think she is probably got a strong chance of going far if she's good enough, if she can dance. And yeah, I think she's quite likeable. Yeah, I think, you know, I remember watching on Blue Peter back in the day, so yeah, I think there'll be people that would recognise her on Blue Peter and people that still watch some of her presenting stuff as well. So I'm saying Helen. I think Kim. I think with Kim, she has potential to go far. She could be surprised because, you know, with some Korean Asian street stars, they can go quite far. I mean, this could end up like Catherine Tilsley just getting to Halloween week. You know, but she's been around a few, it's about over 20 years since, like, Pop Stars. Oh, was it so sad when Darius passed away a few weeks ago? It's so young 40s. Lovely guy. So sad when he passed. Anyway, but with Kim Marsh, I think she will, hopefully, I could see her being a dark horse, actually, you know. It's Kim Marsh. And I think Molly will go far. I think Fleur will definitely go far. So that's kind of the girls. We could have an all-female final this year, maybe. Unless Matt Goss does do really well. But he does need to commit. Like, I really want to see him do a fun Charleston. And he really needs to commit to a fun Charleston. But yeah, unless he doesn't quit after 3 weeks like Will Young. He could be alright, Matt Goss. He could be alright. And another one that could be surprisingly good, Jade Adams. She's got a bit of dance experience. Maybe she could be like a Lisa Riley, like the kind of big girl that no one sees coming and then does really well and beats expectations and just get really far that nobody predicted they would. So, yeah, this year is definitely going to be an interesting year. There are some names where I am looking forward to seeing dancing, and some names that I'm not sure how they're going to do. But let's wait and see. In any case, what do you think of Strictly Come Dancing 2022? Are you looking forward to it, to have some fun in your lives again after a really sad few days here in the UK? What do you think? Comment down below in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to win? Who's going to be out first? Who's going to get partnered up with who? La-di-da-di-da. Comment down below in the comment section below, and I will be back for more content very soon. Then, goodbye, people. Goodbye.